Documentarian Ralph Dunning was known for his boundary-pushing projects, but his latest experiment was about to set a new standard for both curiosity and culinary endurance. Inspired by Doug McGillicuddy's eccentric Gristle Museum and his unconventional food pyramid, Ralph decided he would spend 6 full months eating nothing but Doug's products. His diet would consist of gristle chunks, deep-fried gravy and fart smoothies, the infamous trio from Doug's pyramid. Armed with a camera crew and a weekly doctor's appointment to track his health, Ralph embarked on a journey that would test both his body and his sanity. Month 1, the honeymoon phase. The first week wasn't as bad as Ralph had expected. The gristle chunks, while tough to chew, were oddly satisfying, and the deep-fried gravy was, if nothing else, filling. The fart smoothies were a different story. Thick, green, and intensely pungent, they were hard to get down, and Ralph soon found himself holding his nose with every sip. Still, he was optimistic. By the end of week 1, he checked in with his doctor, Dr. Gale. The results were surprisingly normal, though Dr. Gale raised an eyebrow when he saw Ralph's diet log. "Are you sure you want to keep this up for 6 months, Ralph? You're putting your body through a lot." Ralph laughed it off. "What's life without a little risk, Doc?" But by week 4, things were starting to change. Ralph began to feel sluggish and noticed that his skin had a strange sheen to it, almost greasy. He was also bloated and uncomfortable, a side effect of the constant gristle and fart smoothies. Dr. Gale noted a slight increase in Ralph's blood pressure and a drop in his energy levels. Month 2, the gristle blues. As Ralph hit the 2nd month, the novelty wore off and the true toll of Doug's diet began to show. He could barely chew another piece of gristle without gagging, and his jaw was sore from the endless chewing. The deep-fried gravy, once a guilty pleasure, now left him with constant heartburn. The fart smoothies. They lived up to their name, producing symptoms so intense that Ralph had to excuse himself from public places. In his 2nd month's checkup, Dr. Gale reported a marked rise in Ralph's cholesterol and blood pressure. "Ralph, your body's not built to process this much fat and whatever else is in those fart smoothies," Dr. Gale warned. Ralph looked haggard but remained determined. "I'm doing this for science. I'm going to see this through." Month 3, the dark days. The halfway point marked a turning point for Ralph's health. He felt constantly nauseated, his energy was at an all-time low, and he had to fight to keep his meals down. The gristle had become rubbery, tasteless torture, and the deep-fried gravy now made him break out in sweats. His 3rd month checkup brought grim news. His cholesterol levels had skyrocketed, his liver function was beginning to suffer, and he was constantly dehydrated. Dr. Gale looked him in the eye. "Ralph, you're putting yourself at serious risk. I strongly advise you to stop this experiment." But Ralph was committed, even if he felt miserable. "It's about seeing what Doug's pyramid really does to a person, Doc." Month 4, physical decline. By month 4, Ralph's body was in freefall. His skin looked pallid and sallow, his stomach was in knots, and he was visibly weaker. He had developed chronic acid reflux from the gravy, and the fart smoothies left him doubled over in pain most nights. His teeth were beginning to suffer as well from all the hard gristle, and he struggled to eat more than a few bites at a time. Dr. Gale's checkup that month was damning. Ralph's liver enzymes were dangerously high. His blood pressure had spiked again, and his kidneys were showing signs of distress. "Ralph, I don't think your body can take much more of this. You're doing serious damage." Ralph, exhausted and pale, managed a weak grin. "I'm in too deep now, Doc. Just 2 more months." Month 5, breaking point. By month 5, Ralph's mental and physical state were dire. He had lost significant weight, yet his cholesterol and blood pressure continued to climb. The gristle felt like chewing rubber, and the deep-fried gravy tasted like ash. The fart smoothies had turned into a nightmare, with Ralph barely able to keep them down. He spent most days bedridden, his energy levels nearly non-existent. During his 5th month checkup, Dr. Gale issued a final warning. "Ralph, you're suffering from severe malnutrition. Your kidneys are close to failing, and your heart is under massive strain. This experiment has to end." Ralph's face was gaunt, his eyes sunken. I just need to see this through. It's for science." Month 6, the end of the road. By month 6, Ralph was a shadow of his former self. He could barely eat or drink without nausea. His skin had taken on a yellowish hue, and he was in constant pain. The gristle was torture, the gravy was poison, and the fart smoothies had turned into a daily battle with his digestive system. At his final checkup, Dr. Gale laid out the results. Ralph's liver was failing, his cholesterol was through the roof, his kidneys were dangerously impaired, and his blood pressure was in a critical range. "Ralph, this is the result of 6 months on Doug's diet. You've put your body through hell. I don't know if you'll ever fully recover." Ralph looked at the camera, weak but resolute. This was more than an experiment. It was a journey into the limits of the human body, and a wake-up call. Doug's pyramid is, well, let's just say it's not for the faint of heart. The footage of his journey, from the initial excitement to his gaunt, exhausted state, became a viral documentary titled Gristle and Guts, the Doug McGillicuddy Diet Experiment. It was both a cautionary tale and a bizarre testament to Doug's legacy. As Ralph recovered slowly over the following months, he vowed never to touch gristle, gravy, or fart smoothies again. And Doug, for his part, continued promoting his food pyramid unfazed, declaring, "It's not for everyone, but those brave enough to try, they know what it's all about."